If you decide to enroll in WSET Level 4 Diploma, your life is going to be all about wine. Your money will be spent on wine. You will be hanging around with people who rave, obsess, and talk and drink wine. You will want to buy a fridge, which costs 4,000 euros in order to store wine. And you will want to spend your every holiday in a place that has something to do with wine. I have been through every step of the above mentioned, and my latest holiday trip was to Burgundy, which is obviously the Mecca, the most prestigious wine region, the most important wine region, and I'd like to share that trip with you. So here we go. Burgundy. 11-hour train ride from Berlin to...
What is he doing out there?
Listen, do yourself a favor. If you go to Burgundy, book a place to stay in Beaune. Beaune. Don't do like Dijon or Nuits Saint-Georges or like the whole bunch of small places which have like 50 people where everything closes at 4 p.m. and there's no ATM, there's nothing there, there's like one little restaurant. Go to Beaune. I mean, if you're really not kidding, if you're going to Burgundy for the wine and for the food. We stayed at one of my favorite places, Hôtel Central. Very central. Like, you cannot find a place which is more central in Beaune than Hotel Central. First thing to do in Beaune, if you are there on the weekend, is market. If you're vegetarian or, God forbid, vegan, they will convert you. The cheese, the pâté, the rillette. I mean, this is insane. And drinking may start at 11 a.m. Just a little warning. But I mean, that's why you're here. You eat, drink, talk, laugh, walk, and repeat. That's what the French call l'art de vivre. That is the art of living. For dinner, we went to this really, really cute place right in the middle of Beaune, La Ligne.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was very theatrical. Also, get the crêpes Suzette for the dinner. They are very light, just to experience the whole theater. The wine we had was extraordinary, obviously 2019, from a master of Gevrey-Chambertin, Rossignol-Trapet. I actually met him personally once. He is a very modest winemaker, a very down-to-earth. His wines are usually this very old Burgundy style, this coolie stylistic. It's much more rustic. It has these edges to it. This was our favorite wine of the trip. We kept on coming back to it in a way that we talked the most about it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so next day we went to this place which is quite hyped. It is located in Gevrey-Chambertin, the village of Gevrey-Chambertin, and the place is called La Rotisserie de Chambertin. So it was nice. I can't say it was like extraordinary. I can't say that we were impressed and we have a lasting impression. I also can't say that I would want to come back to this place. Do you know what I mean? It was just nice. It was fully packed. The wine was good. The food was good. But you just have a little feeling that maybe it's been visited so many times that kind of lost its uniqueness. That's probably, I mean, I don't want to offend it or anything. It was a great experience. It was a nice experience. However, the trip to Gevrey-Chambertin is just absolutely worth your time because you are right in the middle of all the Grand Crus. There's nothing better than that. And what you do next after you've had your meal, hopefully a nice bottle of wine, you take a stroll in the vineyards. From Gevrey-Chambertin to Vigny-Saint-Georges, that's what you do. Your feet will be killing you, so maybe take a bike. We didn't. But you'll see it all the goodies, all the places where they make a bottle of wine, which is, I don't know, 10,000 euros a bottle. Another iconic place to visit is La Dilettante. Okay, this is quite a name.
Marsannay,
The place, it's opening hours. Wow, it's open. I feel like it's open like 3 days a week. What the fuck? But I mean, who am I to judge? Just really great wine selection. What I specifically love about Dilettante is that they really introduce a lot of new names. Very small, tiny producers. They're mostly focused on the biodynamic producers, but the wines are really, really well made. You're not going to have like a glass of wine with a barnyard or a smell of a horse sweat in your glass. The winemakers that they pick who do biodynamic winemaking, they are very good. They work really clean in the cellar, and this is the prerequisite to not have this very strong barnyard smell. They are well aware that they are an institution. So they're not in their service. They're not really trying to make an impression. They're more like, yeah, so you got a table here. So lady's like, yeah, so what do you want? Like, how is this wine? And she's like, it's okay. I mean, I never tried it, but I heard it's nice. But it's definitely worth a visit because the place is, again, iconic, and the prices for the wines are also super friendly. I mean, you can have, obviously they have a cellar, so they have some big guns, but we were very happy with what we chose. Sylvain Pataille, village of Marsannay. This is his specialty, a master of lightweightedness and juiciness, purity of fruit. Oh. He's not an up-and-coming winemaker anymore. He is an established, name. You can judge a good winemaker by the wine that he makes in the hardest vintages. And we took 2021, which I was a bit cautious about because it was an extremely difficult vintage, very heavy on the rain. It was very humid. Years like that usually show the true face of the winemaker. To get this purity, this clean fruit from such a difficult moldy vintage, you need, as the French would say, un très joli jus. And the next bottle, yes, we had 2 bottles with lunch. We're on vacation, totally different. This is where the waitress kind of warmed up to us. She was the one who recommended it. I didn't know the producer before, probably rightfully so, because he only has like 2 hectares, which is so tiny, mini. The winemaker is called David Didon. Yes, David Didon from Côte de Nuits, which is all the way in the south. Apparently, they are also very pure. I say they because he is making the wine, running this petite estate with his wife Naima. Such a cool name, I thought. Purist in a sense of, embracing these different techniques. Fiberglass, wow. Concrete eggs, I saw in the pictures when I did a little research about him. And of course, amphoras. But you see, this is why I love La Dilettante. 2 hectares. This is so tiny. How many bottles can he make with 2 hectares? Like 8,000 bottles. This is nothing. And this is probably in the good vintage. And, La Dilettante, they have him. And they introduce people like that. We love that. For dinner, we went to this place. What is it called? I forgot what it's called. I always recommend this place. It is French traditional cuisine made in a very modern style, kind of modern. Le Maufoux. Maufoux. We went to this place, scrolling through the wine list, and we saw this bottle of Coche-Dury for 60 euros. Coche-Dury, iconic name in Burgundy, famous for its white wines. To be fair, the bottle that we got was a red Auxey-Duresses, a very unknown appellation, but still for 60 euros. I mean, Coche-Dury, Meursault, the appellation that they really specialize in. Just how much does it cost? It was just absolutely delicious, delicious. But the whole experience in the Maufoux was kind of strange because it is a really small place and we had to, we're just like a fun couple. So we usually, especially if you have a glass of wine, you're kind of into the conversation and you're talking and you're laughing and you're, sometimes even arguing and stuff, but rarely, but we do. That place was that, kind of like a shh atmosphere where you kind of had to whisper this the whole evening because you felt like no one else was there. I would recommend going there in summer. In summer, they have a terrace, which is just much more vivacious and you have a bit more life in there. But the place is quite famous for œuf meurette and escargot. If you know bœuf bourguignon, think of œuf meurette as like bœuf bourguignon, but instead of meat, you have the poached eggs. And it's delicious. It's one of my favorite dishes of Burgundy. I absolutely love it. And they made so well. I mean, my video did not do it justice. The thing is so delicious and the smell of it. And it looks like you're just kind of like discovering a forest in autumn, The escargots was also, babe. I'm not a huge fan usually, but these were so good. Like the garlic and everything was I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough of fucking snails. So the next day we woke up and we went for vineyards. We went for a walk again. I think we walked about like 20 kilometers at least. We traveled by train to, I want to say Meursault. And then we went all the way by foot to Ligne. And let me tell you, it was so strange. There was not a soul there. It was desolate. So we just took a bunch of pictures of, us. Boy. And then there's this one place I have yet to mention, and the place is called Le Bout du Monde. They boast a wine list which is over 2,500 positions. This is where the whole youth hangs out. This is where you can occasionally meet quite famous winemakers. It's very Burgundy heavy. It's also very champagne heavy. It's not fancy at all. And it's also not that easy to find. A couple of times we just walked by. It's kind of like caché. It's kind of closed. It's kind of a lot of young people, super hip, very busy. It's complete opposite to the restaurant that I mentioned before. It's just a great fun to try, just to scroll through the wine list. They have all the good names, all the goodies. We spent we've been there twice. The very beginning we had Pat Lou. This was Chablis, a beautiful producer. The wine was even a little too much. It has so much character. It was just bursting with energy. It had so much tension. It was everything and even a little bit more than you expected. For our last day in Burgundy, we came back to Bout du Monde again, and I think we had like 3 bottles in one evening. To be fair, we spent like 6 hours there. You can get like a nice croque madame or croque monsieur. You can have a beautiful cheese plate, like loaded with charcuterie and cheese. And also gougère. If you ever have a bottle of champagne, always order gougère. These are this little, puff pastry. Bout du Monde, this is an absolute, must go to. It's gonna be this authentic experience of Beaune. Bout du Monde is the perfect place to begin your journey in Beaune and then to wrap it up. The choice of wines is just beautiful. You're probably gonna spend 20 minutes with a wine list alone because it's so thick. I love the place. We had a lovely time. It was instrumental for our D1. I already have the results, but I will not reveal them. I would be like a Hitchcockian suspense. And listen, it's Christmas. Christmas is coming. It's gonna be a lot of bubbles. I'll see you very soon with results of D1.